You're training hard, you're dialing in your nutrition, but are you really maximizing your results? You've probably heard creatine can help, but maybe you're still unsure about the details. So I'm Dr. Mark, and as someone who helps people optimize their health and performance, I see creatine come up a lot, and I even kind of push it a lot. So in part one of this little two-part video series, we tackled the myths, the 12 most common myths. Now we're going to dive into 16 more crucial questions, things that athletes, clinicians, healthcare professionals are still confused about. The first part one was based on study published in 2021. This one was actually, the published date is 2025. I think it was published online December 2024. This is hot off the press. So from timing and combinations to its effects on brain and recovery, let's get into it. So the first one, can creatine provide muscle benefits without exercise? Yes, a little bit, especially in older adults, vegans, and vegetarians. While exercise enhances creatine benefits, studies show that creatine monohydrate can improve grip strength, delay fatigue, and increase lean mass even without training, especially in populations with low baseline creatine levels. So think older folks, vegans, and vegetarians. So in simple terms, if you're not working out, creatine won't make you jacked, but it can help you preserve strength and energy, especially if your levels are already low or you're in an older age group. Does creatine timing matter? Meaning, does when you take it matter? Not significantly. Studies comparing pre- and post-workout creatine intake show no major differences in strength or muscle mass gains. The key factor is consistency. Do you take it regularly, not the exact timing of when you take it? So again, it doesn't matter if you take creatine before or after your workout, just take it daily. Does combining creatine with other compounds boost its effects? So when we pair creatine with carbs, with protein, with alpha lipoic acid, that may increase intramuscular creatine retention slightly. However, the performance benefits beyond the creatine monohydrate itself are minimal. So to simplify that, adding the carbs or the protein might help you absorb the creatine better, but it's not required. Plain creatine monohydrate works just fine. This is kind of a nuanced one, but do creatine and caffeine interfere with each other? Do they cancel each other out? A short answer is no. Most studies show no consistent interference. In some cases, caffeine may even enhance creatine uptake or performance. High doses or caffeine sensitive folks might experience GI distress, sleep issues, but it's not a dangerous combo. You can have your coffee and your creatine, just don't overdo the caffeine. And that's kind of true of caffeine in general. Does creatine increase muscle protein synthesis? But does creatine basically help you build muscles? Not directly. So creatine does improve muscle size and strength. It doesn't significantly improve or boost the protein synthesis. It may reduce the breakdown, which helps you preserve muscles. But in simple terms, creatine doesn't build muscle directly the same way protein does. It just helps protect the muscle that you already have. So is creatine anti-inflammatory? Preliminary studies show that there are reductions in inflammatory markers like TNF-alpha or CRP, tumor necrosis factor alpha, C-reactive protein, both markers of inflammation. This reduction is especially seen after aerobic exercise. So creatine may help calm inflammation a little bit, but it's not a replacement for other anti-inflammatory strategies. Can creatine support recovery after an injury or a surgery? Some studies do show that creatine may help preserve muscle during periods of immobilization or support long-term rehab, especially for orthopedic injuries. So if you are stuck on the sidelines, even if you're not training, creatine may help you bounce back faster, but this evidence isn't rock solid yet. When you look at the study, the myth originally stemmed from studies on rodents given extremely high doses of creatine, or from research looking at high heat cooked meats and the charred end products of that creatine. That converted to carcinogenic compounds, but these concerns don't apply to purified creatine monohydrate supplements taken by humans, not animals and charred meats. In fact, to the contrary, emerging research is exploring whether creatine might actually help reduce the muscle wasting and improve the quality of life of cancer patients, not cause the cancer. So in simple terms, creatine is not a cancer risk. The myth came from confusing, unrelated studies. In normal doses, it's safe, and scientists are even studying how it might support people with cancer, not harm them. Does creatine increase urination? I actually had a buddy ask me this after I got him taking creatine. No. So any increased bathroom trips are likely due to drinking more fluids, not the creatine itself Creatine doesn't make you pee more. Water. Does creatine affect your blood pressure? No significant impact has been found. In fact, it may reduce the spike in blood pressure that happens during resistance training. So creatine won't raise your blood pressure, and it might even help you regulate it during intense workouts. So is creatine safe during pregnancy? Animal studies show promising benefits for fetal development. We lack large human trials. This is largely because no one wants to study anything in pregnant women because we don't want to have an oopsie. We don't want to mess that up. So creatine does show promise during pregnancy. We need more research before we make any solid recommendations for human use. And at this time, there's no real concerns. Me and my wife took creatine during our pregnancy. I know that doesn't affect me, but talk with your doctor first. Does creatine improve performance in adolescents? So yes, especially in athletes. It's been shown to enhance sprinting, power, and strength. Current data supports use under adult supervision. So creatine works in teens, adolescents. We talked about this in part 1, especially if they're training hard and they're using it appropriately. Creatine works just like it would for us. Does creatine harm male fertility? There is no good evidence that pure creatine monohydrate, your NSF, certified NSF for sports certified creatine hydrate affects fertility or testosterone. Most concerns around this stem from very low quality supplements, probably in the pre-workout and testosterone category. In simple terms, creatine just doesn't mess with your hormones. It's there to regenerate ATP. It doesn't affect the endocrine system. And as long as you're using clean tested products, the creatine isn't doing anything, but maybe the additives or other ingredients, that might be what we're seeing. Does the brain need more creatine than your muscle? Possibly. So the brain uses a ton of energy. At rest, it's about 20% of your ATP use. And creatine may help with cognitive performance, especially in our vegetarians or vegans and sleep-deprived individuals. So in simple terms, your brain is hungry for fuel and creatine may help keep it sharp. Can creatine reduce the effects of sleep deprivation? So some studies, I've talked about this before, but some studies show that creatine can reduce mental fatigue, improve reaction time, do certain things to working memory under sleep loss conditions. In short, if you didn't sleep well, creatine won't replace the sleep, it won't replace the rest, but it might help your brain stay a little more focused. And I absolutely used creatine shortly after my daughter was born. Lastly, can creatine help with traumatic brain injury? If you've followed me for any period of time, you will know the answer is yes. Animal and early human studies show that creatine may reduce damage and support recovery from brain injury by stabilizing cellular energy and reducing inflammation in the brain. In simple terms, creatine shows real promise in supporting brain healing, especially in high impact sports and trauma recovery. For my contact athletes, it is among 3 prophylactic things that I would recommend, but I think all contact athletes should be taking creatine. And it is the one supplement consistently that probably all, if not nearly all, my patients feel an improvement from taking in their concussion recovery. So that wraps up part 2 of our creatine myth busting series. That is it, unless another study gets published. We covered 16 of sort of the more new creatine myths. These certainly weren't the ones that I grew up with. Remember, these are insights based on peer-reviewed research, not influencer hype. Creatine is super safe. Take it in the right doses and try to just get the pure form. You don't need the weird one from the gas station. So which myth or misconception surprised you the most? It could even be the myth that existed and you're like, I didn't even know people thought that. So drop your thoughts in the comments below. Go ahead and hit the bell, do all the YouTube things. It's free for you. It helps me. I'm super grateful for it. Until next time, I'm Dr. Mark.